Ready, go!
Breaking news. Welcome to today's headlines. Nigerian will produce a new crop of political leaders. Buhari. Nigeria will produce new crop of political leaders. To my dear listeners from wherever you're listening from, please stay tuned as I read today's news. President Muhammadu Buhari on Tuesday expressed optimism that Nigeria's current political transition period will produce new crop of political leaders after the general elections in the first quarter of 2023. President Buhari stated these while receiving letters of credence from ambassadors and high commissioners of 6 countries at the presidential villa, Abuja. Speaking as the build-up to the 2023 general elections gathers momentum, he said, "I am highly optimistic that we will conduct a good transition process at the end of which a new set of political leaders will freely emerge." President Buhari told the envoys that you are assuming your diplomatic responsibilities in Nigeria at very interesting political period as Nigerians' national elections are due in February 2023. I want to state again, as I did just a few days ago at the UN General Assembly, that we remain committed to free and fair elections. He assured that participation of citizens in democracy will continue to be encouraged through freedom of speech and robust political discourse, urging respect for divergent cultures and opinions and upholding the unity of the country. According to him, Nigerian strength remains in its diversity and the constant differences in positions further signpost a strong democratic culture. He said, "As you settle down to your diplomatic responsibilities, you will realize how diverse Nigeria is. We are not only multi-ethnic and religious but also multicultural. We enjoy unfettered freedom of speech and engage in robust political discourses. Sometimes, the nature of these discourses tend to give the impression that we are constantly opposed to each other. The reality is that there is so much that binds us together than the few areas of our divergence. I have no doubt in my mind that you will soon appreciate our uniqueness and indeed resilience as a people, as well as our diversity which constitute our strength." President Buhari urged the diplomats to build on the existing good relations that their predecessors had achieved by being more proactive in engagement. He said, "Today's occasion, during which you have just presented your letters of credence to me, officially marks the formal assumption of your representational duties as ambassadors, high commissioners of your respective countries to Nigeria. You represent some of the most prominent countries on the earth and some of our important trading, political, and cultural partners. The bilateral relationship that exists between each of your countries and the Federal Republic of Nigeria is warm and very cordial, and the cooperation and collaboration between us in several areas such as social economic, political security, education, and cultural spheres. President Buhari called for more collectiveness in tackling some of the challenges faced by nations, noting that the climatic, economic, and security concerns can only be solved through shared vision, skills, and effort. We are living in unprecedented global challenging time. Early in 2020, much of the world was forced to shut down on account of COVID-19. The catastrophic impact of the pandemic has been across our nations, not just in terms of tragic loss of millions of lives, but also massive loss of livelihoods and the resultant economic recession. Just as we are recovering, the war in Ukraine came to impact negatively on global economy. Meanwhile, we are faced with the urgency to take collective actions to stop the devastating consequences of climate change that manifest every day in parts of the world. The various factors that account for these challenges are beyond the capacity of any single country to effectively contain them alone. Hence, the necessity for all of us to work closely together to build consensus in order to overcome them and also minimize tensions and confrontations amongst and between ourselves, he said. The president said Nigerian firmly remains committed to, to multilateralism. For us in Nigeria, we'll continue to make steady progress despite the daunting challenges of insecurity in the fight against corruption, diversification of the economy, and our effort in promoting good governance, amongst other things. To my dear listeners, from wherever you're listening from, please stay tuned and do drop by at the comment section and let